Over the last decades, China has emerged as a critical role player in Africa, gradually advancing its influence to counterbalance Western presence on the continent. At the heart of this geopolitical maneuvering is China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, which has extended its colossal footprint into Africa. Over the years, different world powers, especially the Western powers, have tried to expand their base in Africa and gain total control, even though they have faced resistance from a few African countries. However, China has joined the race to be among the influential powers in Africa, raising serious concerns among the Western nations. China wants to become the key player in Africa by overshadowing the so-called Western powers. China has set up significant deals with African leaders that can propel it to actualize its dream of gaining control in Africa over the Western powers. Going further, we will explore the multifaceted nature of China's engagement in Africa in this video, focusing on the Belt and Road Project, extensive funding mechanisms, and special projects that show China's expanding footprint in Africa in a bid to outshine the current Western presence. China's Belt and Road Initiative in Africa, initially focused on enhancing global connectivity, the Belt and Road Initiative has found fertile ground in Africa. Through substantial investments, China has facilitated the development of critical infrastructure, including railways, ports, and highways. This strategic expansion supports Africa's economic growth and positions China as a central player in shaping the continent's future. China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, has emerged as a transformative global project, connecting nations through infrastructure development, trade partnerships, and cultural exchanges. This research delves into the extension of the BRI into Africa, analyzing its impact on the continent's economic landscape, geopolitical dynamics, and local communities. The BRI, unveiled by China in 2013, aims to revive ancient trade routes, fostering economic cooperation and connectivity. The initiative comprises the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, collectively spanning Asia, Europe, and Africa. While the initial focus was on the Asia-Pacific region, the BRI has significantly extended its reach into Africa, reflecting China's strategic interest in the continent. One of the critical pillars of the BRI in Africa is infrastructure development. China has actively constructed roads, railways, ports, and energy facilities, enhancing connectivity within the continent and facilitating trade. Notable projects include the Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway in Kenya, providing a vital transportation link, and the Doralé Multipurpose Port in Djibouti, strategically located at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and Europe. Trade partnerships and economic impacts of BRI. The BRI has fostered robust trade partnerships between China and African nations, unlocking economic opportunities for both parties. Bilateral agreements and preferential trade terms have expanded commerce, with Africa gaining access to Chinese commodity markets. Also, China secures vital resources, reinforcing the symbiotic nature of the relationship. The economic impacts are evident, with increased investments leading to job creation and localized economic development. The BRI catalyzes economic growth by promoting trade and connectivity. African nations eager for development have welcomed China's investments, fostering a symbiotic relationship that strengthens China's influence. The infusion of capital into infrastructure projects aligns with China's long-term vision of creating a network of interconnected nations, with Africa playing a pivotal role in this global framework. Financial leverage and mega projects. China's engagement in Africa goes beyond the BRI, providing significant financial backing for various projects. China has become a critical financial partner for African nations by offering loans for infrastructure development. This financial leverage accelerates development and establishes China as a crucial economic ally. Mega projects funded and supported by China are transforming the African landscape. These initiatives contribute to economic growth and foster closer ties between China and African nations, from the construction of railways to the expansion of ports. The strategic allocation of funds enables China to secure its interests while simultaneously elevating the economic prospects of its African partners. In the last 2 decades, China has been the largest creditor to Africa, having given approximately $170 billion in loans to various African governments. This data was made public by the Boston University Global Development Policy Center, as they are in charge of the Chinese Loans to Africa database. With such an amount of money borrowed from Africa, it is clear that China is heavily invested in the continent. Most of the money borrowed from China has been used to fund several transportation projects. China's financing mechanisms. China uses different financing mechanisms under the BRI to support African mega projects. One prevalent method is providing concessional loans, often at lower interest rates than traditional lenders. These loans are instrumental in funding large-scale infrastructure developments, such as railways, ports, and energy facilities. Additionally, China engages in project-specific loans, tailoring financial support to the unique needs of each initiative. Beyond the financial aspects, China's financing of mega projects in Africa emphasizes local capacity building and job creation. By involving local labor and suppliers, these projects contribute to skill development and stimulate economic activity. This approach aligns with China's broader goals of fostering sustainable development and building positive relations with African communities. China's special projects in Africa. Aside from the traditional infrastructural projects involving China, other special initiatives that underline the multifaceted nature of the Africa-China relationship have been linked to them. We will explore notable special projects, including constructing a parliamentary building. Examining specific projects provides insights into the tangible impact of China's engagement. The construction of the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway has revolutionized transportation in the region. Simultaneously, Chinese investments in Zambia's copper industry underscore the economic dimensions of this relationship. These case studies highlight the transformative effect of Chinese projects on local economies and industries. The Parliamentary Building Project. One standout project is the construction of parliamentary buildings, symbolizing China's commitment to African institutional development. Notable instances include constructing the new National Assembly building in Zimbabwe and the ongoing project in Guinea-Bissau. These structures serve as tangible symbols of diplomatic relationships, fostering governance and institutional capacity-building collaboration. This particular project is another sign that China is tactically gaining ground in Africa to have more significant influence than the Western powers. Healthcare initiatives and anti-malaria campaigns. China's involvement in healthcare initiatives is another unique project that showcases its commitment to addressing critical issues in Africa. Collaborative efforts include the construction of hospitals and the implementation of anti-malaria campaigns. These initiatives contribute to improving healthcare infrastructure and reflect China's dedication to addressing pressing health challenges on the continent. Education and skills development programs. Another unique project involving China is the education and skills development programs necessary for African human capital development. Notable projects include establishing Confucius Institutes, scholarship programs, and vocational training centers. These initiatives aim to empower African communities by providing access to quality education and fostering skills, contributing to socio-economic development. Cultural exchanges and people-to-people diplomacy. Notable projects in Africa extend to cultural exchanges and people-to-people diplomacy. China actively supports cultural events, art exhibitions, and exchanges that promote mutual understanding. These endeavors foster stronger ties between Chinese and African communities, transcending economic and political dimensions. Renewable energy and sustainable development. China's commitment to sustainable development is evident in special projects focused on renewable energy. Investments in solar and wind energy projects contribute to Africa's quest for clean and sustainable power sources. These initiatives align with global efforts to combat climate change while addressing Africa's energy needs for economic growth. The special projects in Africa reflect a holistic and multidimensional approach to collaboration. From parliamentary buildings symbolizing governance to healthcare initiatives addressing critical health challenges, and from education and skills development, empowering human capital to renewable energy projects contributing to sustainability. As China continues to explore innovative avenues for collaboration, the enduring impact of these special projects on the socio-economic fabric of Africa remains a vital aspect of the evolving China-Africa relationship. Conclusion. China's keen interest and expanding role in Africa, driven by the Belt and Road Initiative, extensive financial backing, and involvement in special projects, reflects a strategic shift in global geopolitics. China has established a more significant presence in Africa than Western nations. The comprehensive nature of China's engagement showcases its intent to counter Western influence and actively participate in shaping Africa's economic and political future. Thank you for watching till the very end.